Is M. Night Shyamalan's new movie Trap a secret sequel to another one of his earlier films? My theory is yes. Like his 2017 movie Split, which was billed as a psychological thriller when it came out, but turned out to be a sequel to his 2000 movie Unbreakable, there are a few clues in the first trailer for Trap that suggest that this could be a similar scenario, where what's being billed as a thriller about trapping a killer is actually a setup for an entirely different experience that takes place in another M. Night Shyamalan world. Potential spoiler warning for anyone who doesn't want to know what the twist, or should I say the two twists, that Trap may contain are. So let me lay the groundwork here for what I'm about to say. What we know from the trailer for Trap is that the setup for the film includes Josh Hartnett's character and his daughter attending a concert for a singer named Lady Raven. During the show, Hartnett's character learns that the venue in which the concert is taking place is actually an elaborate trap being set up by the police and SWAT units to catch a serial killer known as the Butcher.
You know the Butcher?
It is then immediately revealed that Hartnett has kidnapped a man who he is keeping trapped somewhere, pretty much directly saying that Hartnett is, in fact, the Butcher that the police are there to trap. In my initial reaction for this trailer, I theorized that Josh Hartnett and his daughter were a sort of team who would trap and kill predators that prey on children. I gave my reasons for why I thought this in my reaction video, which is linked in the description below if you want to check it out, but I'd like to present a new theory that I think makes better sense out of what we learned in the trailer, because there was one thing that kept bothering me when I thought about it, and that was this title, In the World of M. Night Shyamalan. This title could be a way of saying that this movie is from the world of this filmmaker, or it could also be a kind of clue that this movie takes place in a specific M. Night Shyamalan world, namely the world of his 1999 movie The Sixth Sense, starring Haley Joel Osment and Bruce Willis. So here's my theory as to what the story for Trap is, and the two potential twists that will be revealed at some point in the movie. My guess is that Trap is set decades in the future of the events that took place in The Sixth Sense, and at some point in the movie it will be revealed that Haley Joel Osment's character Cole has grown up to become a kind of medium who, possessing the ability to communicate with ghosts, is helping the police catch a local serial killer.
What do you think these ghosts want when they talk to you?
Just help.
That's right. That's what I think too.
Like Cole's interaction with the young girl in The Sixth Sense who gives Cole a videotape proving that she was poisoned by her mother, the ghosts of the victims of the Butcher in Trap could be coordinating with Cole to help track the Butcher down. Now it could be that the Butcher's victims never really see his face, and therefore wouldn't know what Josh Hartnett looks like, so they can't identify him directly. But the ghosts might collectively have enough information to help Cole create a kind of profile. This would make sense out of why the police start filtering through the crowd and pulling the kind of people who fit that profile. I kind of like this theory because in a Shyamalan movie, the question is always the same. What do you think you're seeing versus what are you actually seeing? And on that note, have you guessed what the second twist is yet? Like Bruce Willis's character in The Sixth Sense, my guess is that it will be revealed at some point that Josh Hartnett's daughter in Trap is actually dead. Perhaps the story goes something like this. Josh Hartnett, we come to learn, is a father who, years ago, attended a concert with his daughter. Maybe he made the mistake of leaving her alone at some point for what he thought was such a short period of time that nothing bad could happen. But in that moment, she was kidnapped and later killed by someone who preys on children. The grief and guilt of this experience have turned Hartnett into a man filled with rage and hell-bent on the personal vendetta of tracking down and killing not only the person responsible for his daughter's death, but anyone who would prey on children. Maybe he, alone, attends the kinds of concerts that his daughter used to love, reliving the day he lost her and projecting his memories of her into that experience. Maybe he also uses these venues as a way to trap and torment the very kind of people that hurt his kid, which would make sense out of why he brought a minivan to the concert, because he expects to be bringing back more people than he showed up with. The clues for this would effectively be the same clues that we got for Bruce Willis's character in The Sixth Sense. How does the daughter interact with people, and how does she interact with objects? When it comes to people, in the trailer we only see her interacting directly with her father, though there is a moment where another character makes reference to her.
Your daughter's never gonna forget this day.
What we don't know is if this character has actually met the daughter, or if she's simply aware that Josh Hartnett's character has one. When it comes to objects, the clues I think would be mostly in her clothing. Throughout The Sixth Sense, Bruce Willis only wears the clothing that he's either dressed in or that he interacts with on the night that he gets shot at the beginning of the film. And in the same way, there appear to be a few hints that we gather from the clothing that the daughter's wearing in the trailer for Trap. Specifically, it's the fact that the colors and patterns on her shirt almost exactly resemble those that we see on the friendship bracelet that Josh Hartnett is wearing on his left wrist. Is this a father's way of keeping something on him that he can quickly use to help other people find his daughter in case they get separated at a public event? Like, hey officer, I lost my kid. She's wearing a shirt that looks exactly like this. Or it could also be that this was the bracelet his daughter used to wear, and wearing it himself is his way of keeping her with him, which is why the projection of her memory is dressed in a similar pattern. One of the reasons I think this theory holds water is because it's consistent with a running theme in a lot of Shyamalan's work, where we meet characters who are dealing with an internal problem at the exact moment in their lives when they encounter an external problem that can only be resolved by acknowledging and overcoming the internal problem that they're suppressing. In The Sixth Sense, Dr. Malcolm Crowe is a man suppressing the reality that the condition of his former patient Vincent Gray, as well as the circumstances that led to Gray's death, are not his fault. It's only the external problem of helping Cole Sear, a child who claims that he can see ghosts, that forces Dr. Malcolm to confront another underlying reality that he's been avoiding. In Unbreakable, David Dunn has been suppressing the knowledge that he's gifted with an advantage that he didn't ask for and in many ways has been running from his entire life. It's the external problem of being the sole survivor of a train crash that forces this reality to the surface in such a way that David can no longer ignore it or conceal it from others. Essentially, the recurring theme in Shyamalan's work is the role of providence in liberating individuals by compelling them to confront the shackles of their own denial. And my guess is that it will also be at the heart of a movie like Trap. That and the fact that his daughter is the only one holding a slightly translucent phone case, which is a clear indication that she is a ghost, because ghosts are also slightly translucent, and everyone knows that. Anyway, will M. Night Shyamalan be the first director to pull off the same twist twice? Will Josh Hartnett escape the trap unscathed? And will Philadelphia law enforcement learn that good OPSEC on your resource-heavy and elaborate snare for a serial killer occasionally means keeping the merch guys out of the loop?
I'm not supposed to tell.
What do you think of my theory? Maybe I'm going too far with it, but I gotta tell you, if my theory is correct, I'm even more excited to see this movie now than I was when I first watched the trailer. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.